ghostly feast.
With
Yes.
their beliefs and their ideas. It's the same thing that you're seeing happening on Reddit right now. They keep posting, flooding the timelines to make it look like their opinion is the dominant one, when in reality, they're just trying to drown out everybody else.
Reddit is so bad right now. It's so fucking bad. It's actually insane.
And the thing is that I would almost want to like really try to go and take over Reddit. But the problem is that you can't do it because the admins will just ban you. Like if we could make a movement to like really create a counterculture on Reddit to like push back against some of the crazy agenda driven, like just insane shit that's written on there, then I would do it. But the problem is that the admins of Reddit, the people that are actually running the show, they agree with it and they enable it. So it's like, I'm not going to play a rigged game.
That's what's helped created this facsimile of power, and it's arguably created such a hostile environment for players and developers. And
Yeah.
I would argue that's what's led to so many games being ruined over time. Developers believe that the media has influence. At least that's what it looks like to them. That's why you always hear them.
This is actually a very good, I don't know if he's going to bring this up, but so a really great example of this is the CEO of Ubisoft. He said, I don't know why our games aren't doing well. The Metacritic scores from the critics said that our games were an 83. So you have these, like, so it's, oh, I don't know what's going wrong. And it's like the game has an 83 and then the audience rating is like a 3.8 or something like that. It's like, oh my God, it's terrifying. Blind ass motherfucker, out of touch? Yeah. They completely don't understand the problem.
Talk about how happy they are that games reviewed well before they even ever talk about
Yeah.
how the players like the game.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's more of a call sign for me to know that the game probably isn't any good. I think that we've had years of games being made for journalists rather than the players because there has always been this unspoken threat. If your game doesn't align with our worldview, well, then we're probably going to dock points from you. If you're
Exactly. And I think that this threat was exercised in Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, and it was also exercised in Black Myth Wukong. I think those are two examples of it happening. And I think the inverse was exercised in something like Concord and also in Dragon Age Veilguard.
studio doesn't play nice, well, then we're going to write
Yeah.
negative stories about you. If you refuse to engage with us, well, then we're going to have
See,
to create
this
some...
is also another thing, too, is like you guys know this with me. Even when people are rude to me, I still try to provide fair coverage and fair viewpoints to them. Even if it's somebody who I don't like or who's been like hostile to me, I always try to be fair. These people don't even try.
type of controversy around you, even if none exists. Think about how this shapes the games that we get. Why do so many AAA games feel the same? Well, because the devs are designing the game with critics
want
in
them to be the
mind,
same.
not the players. Why do games increasingly have corporate-approved political messaging? Well, that's because journalists will punish them if the game doesn't include it.
Yeah.
Why do so many devs...
I know everybody didn't like Black Myth Wukong, but to say that it was a 6 out of 10 game, I don't know about that one. I really, I just don't know about that one.
grovel
Seems
and
like a little bit of
apologize
nope.
at the first sign of controversy. Well, because
Yeah.
they know gaming
bit of
media
nope.
will not give them a fair shot otherwise. The funny thing is, this is what has become a deciding factor when it comes to whether or not a game does well or it doesn't.
Yeah.
The games that ignore the media, they are the ones that are finding success. The studios that haven't, the people that still believe the media holds power and influence, well, they're creating games for a non-existent audience.
Like Ubisoft.
I think it's developed a creative wasteland where developers are walking on eggshells, forced to cater to a small group of ideologically aligned journalists, and they're making games for them rather than the people that actually buy their games in the first.
And the way that you solve this problem is that, and by the way, do you see how Armored Core's graphics are not insanely high fidelity at all? You can't see any sort of like damage on Balteus here or anything like that. It's just a really good quality game with a great art direction and great basic art design. Yeah. Gameplay first. Distinct, it's amazing. Yeah. The way that you go against this is that you create alternative forms of media that push an agenda that basically eclipses the existing one. Because companies are going to have to go somewhere in order to get community feedback or to get any sort of feedback about their game. So the best thing for you to do is for you to create another platform that you can effectively cancel out and suppress the platform that is pushing the agenda that you disagree with, like me. That's actively what I try to do. You're 100% right. Like, my perspective is that I'm not always like a high roader. I am with some things, but I also realize that in order to win a game, sometimes you have to play the game.
First place. This is why games feel less daring, less risky, and more formulaic. It's because these people, with their soft power in gaming, don't reward creativity. They reward compliance. For many years, gaming journalists held a very privileged position within this industry. They were the gatekeepers, the tastemakers. They could make or break a game by covering it. They could promote them.
And now they're mad because now it's us that do it. So it's not that this power has been given back to the people. In a way it has, but it's also just been given back to the it's been given to a different group.
And they were the ones that brought them to an audience. They could dictate who was worthy of praise and what was destined to fail. They could control the flow of information, shape public perception, and for a time, it worked. Developers listened to them and players trusted them, but that trust is gone. Not because of gaming journalism as a whole, but because of a toxic few that have compromised their integrity, built an echo chamber, and alienated the very people that they're supposed to serve. Instead of
I think that a lot of people also have taken part of this and allowed it to happen too. It's not just the people that were doing it. There was a lot of passive compliance and people that kind of, carried water for it to justify it and say that it was okay, even though they didn't necessarily participate in it themselves. And, like you could say, like, okay, that's guilt by association. It's not fair. Like, yeah, you're kind of right. But, I mean, it wasn't fair what they were doing either.
reporting for the audience, they started reporting for each other. Instead of informing the players, they started lecturing them. Instead of reviewing games, they started enforcing ideological purity tests. And the result, a slow, painful collapse. Website traffic is dropping every year. Social media engagement is shrinking. The only thing that's keeping some of these sites afloat is the ad revenue that they're getting from monetizing game trailers on YouTube. But even
talking about IGN. That's what IGN does.
That's starting to slip as publishers are starting to cut out the middleman and just post it directly to their own channels. Players don't need gaming journalists anymore. They've ruined that relationship with their own egos. They watch YouTubers who actually engage with the games. They follow Twitch streamers whose reactions are real and not scripted. They find independent reviewers on Substack or Patreon who aren't beholden to corporate interests. The media doesn't dictate the conversation anymore. The players do. More game developers are starting to make games for players, not critics. More Eastern studios are breaking into the global market, immune to Western media's influence. More publishers are starting to realize...
Yeah, that's my favorite part about this, is that, like, I remember there was, like, one of these interviews with Black Myth Wukong, and they asked some, like, weird question about gender stuff, and, like, the Chinese people didn't even really understand it. They were like, okay, yeah, I don't know... Next, yeah, what next? I don't know what this is. Yeah.
The power of reviews is diminishing and word of mouth is king.
Player reviews are king. Yeah.
They can scream, they can cry, they can double down on their activism and their echo chambers. It won't matter. The audience is gone, and these outbursts that we're seeing from the IGN writer are only pushing the audience further away. Their influence is shrinking, and the future of gaming belongs to the people who actually care about games, not the people that are trying to spend all their time controlling them. If you're a games journalist and you made it to this part of the video, I highly doubt that's the case.
You're very upset right now. Your blood pressure is at least 170.
I don't think any of them actually watched.
Yep.
The only time I've ever seen them talk about me is when they put me next to Asmongold because you reacted to one of my videos or something like that. And they're like,
that's right. That's right. That's what happens. Is so like he makes a video, I react to the video. All of the journalists have a meltdown because of my reaction. And it's like, it's crazy because like the same thing happened with Elon. Like, I react to the video, I get fucking I get kicked off the gaming fucking group in X. I get unverified. Meanwhile, fucking Quinn doesn't even have anything happen. It's insane.
I'm not talking about all of you. I think there are some great writers and some great journalists that are out there. And there's a toxic few that have taken control and they have ruined the entire industry for you. I love Eric Kane's work over at Forbes. There's a ton of articles of his that I completely disagree with and a bunch of them that I really agree with, but it's the way that things are framed and it's never trying to preach to an audience and it's never the same voice that you hear from so many other outlets. The same thing goes, I've been really enjoying the work of Casey DeFreitas. Works at IGN. She's been covering Monster Hunter Wilds, doing an incredible job. On topic, relevant, informational, a Monster Hunter veteran that is talking about their experience with Monster Hunter Wilds and covering the game and doing a fantastic job at doing it.
Yeah.
And it's exactly what players are coming to you guys for. This is what we want. This is what we want more of. And if you did more of that, well, you'd see quite a big bump in engagement and just people genuinely enjoying your content. But you have a circle. You have a cabal. You have a bunch of narcissistic
and also a lot of the articles written are written by theater kids. They're people that think that they're clever with the way that they use language, but they're actually just stupid. They're stupid and it's hard to communicate with them. Yeah, the retards. Yeah, it's people that are like slightly above average intelligence that think that they have the right to talk down to everybody because of that. And so they use words and language that are like slightly above like what the average education is. And they forget that their goal is to communicate, not to show off the words that they know or some sort of like literary technique that they're using.
Statistical writers that are out there that believe that they have the right to impose their beliefs
professional
not
Redditors.
only on the industry, not only on the games, but also on the audience. And they're doing it at the cost of their credibility, their peers' credibility, and the credibility of the entire industry. And that's the reason why there are so many issues with games journalism today. It's the reason why people just don't want to pay attention to it. And by the way, I'm not going to pretend like there aren't issues with some of the more right-leaning media that's out there as well, okay? Because I've seen...
The only thing that's good about... The problem is that people project themselves as being unbiased, and then they're biased. That's the problem. A lot of the right-leaning media, like if you go to InfoWars, you know that you're gonna get a specific opinion. If you go to Hassan's stream, you know that you're gonna get a specific opinion. But if you're looking at trying to find out what's really fucking going on, you're not going to be going to either one of those places. In a lot of cases, you're going to be looking at where's an article that's going to show me the facts of what happened and give me the fairest shake on it in a very even-handed way.
Seen some of the articles that have been posted. You would think that Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is Dragon Age the Veilguard Part 2. It's fucking embarrassing.
It was embarrassing.
I want to be critically clear about something, and I think this is probably the most important thing to bring up here.
I'm the least biased.
Is that I don't include my personal politics in videos. One, because I don't really have any, to be honest. Like, politics just don't really interest me all that much. It just bores the shit out of me. Oh, they affect you. I know. I play video games. I'm here to talk about video games. I'm here to talk about games that I love and talk about games that I hate. I'm here to talk about news that I find relevant or something that I'm interested in or something that makes me angry. This is my confessional booth, okay? I get cathartic relief from writing essays and making videos and doing those kind of things. I am here to provide a service. I do not lose sight of that. I am a content creator that is making content to be consumed by you for your entertainment or for your insight or whatever it might be. That's it. That's as far as this relationship goes. I don't need to teach you nothing. I don't need to make you be something. I don't need to change the world. I'm just here having a good time.
This is the thing, is like you got too many Redditors, man. You got these Redditors and Revolutionaries that are sitting there on Blue Sky that are trying to write these articles to like make people look bad because they don't see the world the same way that they do. And I think that there's a lot of just average people that see that and it's like, this is so weird, it's fucking cringe, it's annoying. Why does anybody want to see that? Are you
That's
not
all
the
it-
same thing? No, I think that I'm... I think that I'm very fair. I legit... Well, let's talk about that afterwards.
Needs to be. And I think the vast majority of the industry and a lot of these writers have completely lost sight
Yeah.
of that. And instead, well, they just think it's a vehicle to drive whatever their ideology is. And that's what they've been using it for. They've hijacked the industry to use it for that purpose. And that's a problem. And it's the same in games as it is in games journalism.
And in politics,
Because
and in every other form of media.
Your stance, this is
And-
not
and
your place to
movies.
make a stance.
This
for
is
your-
like, remember how movies said like some of these like, you know, shows like that Velma show or Ghostbusters 2016 or that Witcher Netflix show, Blood something. All these shows were good. The Acolyte, all of these shows. It's the exact same in other media too.
ideology or your political leanings or whatever it might
Yeah.
be. These are commercial products. This is a service. This is a product and service industry. We are buying video games and then we are going to somebody else to hear about those games or to understand them better or to have them reviewed or whatever it might be. You're the quality control. Journalists are the quality control,
Yeah, of
but that
course.
service isn't being served.
They're the quality enforcement now.
That's a problem. You know, call me a traditionalist, call me a prude, but when I see people like Lena go out on social media and say shit like that,
If you're going to deduct points from a game because they use the Gulf of America, but you're not going to deduct points from a game and write articles about games that are made in China that actively suppress conversations about genocides and different types of cultural appropriation, or sorry, not appropriation. That's the one that doesn't matter. Cultural oppression. And nobody should take you seriously at all. Really. Like nobody, like you've automatically disqualified yourself from any sort of opinion that has any weight at all. Like if you really think that the Gulf of America has even 1/100th of the impact of Chinese games coming out that prevent you from saying the words Taiwan. It's a level of delusion and hypocrisy that I think even the most reasonable and uninformed person can immediately see. That was crazy? Yeah, it was.
the lack of professionalism just really bothers me. Like, I feel like people
Yeah.
really crave that. It's not even crave. I think people expect it. They don't expect people in positions of authority to act like that. And when you're a game reviewer, you are in a position of authority because you do, in a way, shape the discussions around these games.
do.
You shape the reception of those games, and you ultimately will shape the destiny of some of these studios in some cases. While, yeah, I know game reviewers aren't as relevant as they were, many years ago. They
Thank
do,
God for that.
They do still have some relevance. Not as much as before.
Yeah, too bad.
Heck of a lot less now. But yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for watching the video. If you guys enjoyed the video, found it useful in any way, like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, comment down below. Follow me on Twitch. The link is down below. And I think that's all I can remember. Anyway, stay cool, stay righteous, stay safe. Catch you in the next one. Peace.
There it is.
Family.
Do you think game reviewers will ever be able to recover as a whole? No. I think that once an ideology like this encapsulates a group of people, I think that it is impossible to get rid of them. And I think that the only way that you can get rid of them is to completely remove it and start over. It's like an infection. You have to cut the entire thing out. That's what I would say. You're spamming? I know I am spamming. Give the video a like. I totally fucking agree with the video. I absolutely do. And I think that every single time that person, that Lena, wherever the fuck it is, person writes an article about a game made in China, I feel like if they ever give it anything more than a 1, people should absolutely go fucking ballistic. Because you have a game that... And also, every single company, you have to keep in mind, every single company in China has a connection to the Chinese government, the Chinese Communist Party. And it's mandatory, right? It's not like this is just incidental. It's a mandatory connection. And so when I see people like that, I see like a level of hypocrisy that is just absolutely insulting. And it's insulting to the intelligence of everyone. Yeah, there's the video right there. But anyway, I've been trying, like, I think that I am very unbiased. Personally, I think I'm very unbiased. And if people think that I'm not, I'm curious to hear why. But I think that as much as I can be, I try to be fair. And more than anything,
have I been training in secret for this duel for months? Nope, of course not. No, the idea is that we're both noob.
Hello. Hey, what's up? What's up?
Hey, good to see you. Good to talk to you.
Good to talk to you too, man. I trying to find the lobby. I think I just found it now, actually.
Okay, okay. I don't see you in the lobby yet. You have the password?
Yes, I'm just hiding screen real fast so I can type it in.
Nice.
I think I'm in.
Yep, yep. It's funny. It played when you got into the game.
Oh, did it do the sound?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so listen, I love this game as a kid, but I will be honest with you, I haven't played it since I was a kid. So, what is your what's your skill level, you think?
Let's put everything on the table, okay? No capping, no lying, no pretending.
Yes.
I have never played this game before ever.
Dude, that's a lie. That is a straight up lie.
Okay. Okay, you've done your research. I respect that. I respect that. Guzu, I've played this game before, but I'm not good by any means. I've probably played about 5 times in the last 6 years or so, and maybe for like a total of 15 hours or so. I'm bad. I'm as bad as they get, for sure.
Okay, I might be able to top you on that one, but we'll see. Yeah, obviously, as I said, I played it 20 years ago, but I played it a lot when I was a kid, but it is 2 decades ago.
And did you play it like competitively? Did you have like brothers or friends to play against, or did you just grind the campaign?
No, so I had a friend, and we were both really into the game. So we used to hot seat the game. We would sit in the same room. Whenever it was my turn to play, he would leave the room. And then whenever it was his turn, then I would leave the room. And we would play a lot like that. So that's primarily how I would play it.
Yeah, that's the stuff. Exactly the same here. So I heard you talking about HAM 3. I was tuning into your WoW, and your chat was complaining that you don't play enough variety. So I thought, you know what? I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I can indulge in HAM. I'm gonna challenge you in HAM. But I didn't expect you to say yes, and you did.
Oh, I mean, dude, honestly, I just got excited that you wanted to play it. So I'm hyped for this.
I think it's waiting for you to ready or accept.
Yes.
Alright, cool. We're loading.
Yeah,
into
perhaps. Ooh, okay. Should we tell which towns we have, or should we keep that a secret for now?
If you are one of the 8 that we intended to,
I am one of the OG ones. Yes.
Okay, cool. Then that's fine. And I guess we have one more decision to make. Do you want to be on voice for some of it, all of it, or none of it?
We can be on voice. I think it's more fun if we can do that.
Okay, sure. Let's see. I think if you're playing in windowed mode, you're gonna probably feel the lack of edge panning. So you would probably use the minimap scrolling to get around, like holding the minimap.
Yeah, I see that. I see that. Okay, so we're both playing simultaneously at the same time. We're like able to like play at the same time now, correct?
Yep.
And then whenever we finish our turn, then the other person needs to wait for the other person.
Yes, exactly. Pretty sick. Well, are you happy with your time?
I can play with this. I'm fine. Yes. What about you? Are you okay with it?
Yeah, of course. That's the rules. And we can't hire any new heroes. That's interesting.
Yeah, so we only have 1 hero. I'm looking at the tavern. We cannot purchase any heroes.
Okay.
Alright, let's see what I do.
All right, chats. Don't spoil our Civ to each other.
Yes.
For those who are wondering, you can hold control and left click your primary tier 1 stack to seed your group with 1 stack minions, which can soak up hits in battle.
Yes. That is yes.
You knew this.
I did know that. That's obviously what I was about to do.
Really? Wait, how do you know
Yeah,
this?
I was actually. Oh yeah, I see. Okay, I actually see.
If he didn't,
You're not.
if he didn't play for 20 years, then how would he know that?
Just the game sense, general game sense.
Oh, of course. Ooh, can I beat this? Don't think so. Oh, and if you want to type in game, which of course is not really necessary, press tab.
Oh, okay. Yeah, obviously you knew that as well. That's great.
Idle session.
I tested creating lobby.